Hey there, it's Party Marty from Protokult.
And Dave DeRay from Protokult.
The original members. So the meaning of the name Protokult itself, it's something we started in our late high school years because really it's the first band we ever formed. And we recognize that metal is an underground genre, so we just wanted to pay tribute to keeping it cult, keeping it alive, and we never cared for bullshit trends and genres and always wanted to do our own thing, which we continue to.
Till this day we've kept the same name. Now, in terms of the actual album itself that we're releasing, Transcending Ruins, previous albums that we released were, varying genres, and there was a lot of influence in ancestral anthems from the black metal scene, and a lot of influence from folk metal in No Beer in Heaven. We wanted to take the best of all of the elements and combine it into the newest album to, sort of show that we can bridge the sound between a lot of these albums, as well as hopefully you guys will explore a lot of territory that you never heard from a Protokult album before. So it's definitely something exploring a lot of the past, but as well treading some new grounds.
Yeah, Transcending the Ruins, I'd say it's the most mature record, so it's a culmination of some of the highlights where we've been with No Beer in Heaven, with some of the heavier aspects of even the first album, Ancestral Anthems. Lyrically, there's still some folklore and history, like Slavic mythology, as well as tributes to, one song is dedicated to the 1516 German purity beer law, also kind of dedicated to Kai Hansen. One song is dedicated to our ex-keyboardist, and there's some traditional melodies all over the place, and it's a total banger. Art-wise, we collaborated with a lot of awesome artists on this. The main cover was done by Mary Cherny, nice Ukrainian-Canadian artist. Some of the inside art, you have Belkshinsky, as well as some Russian traditional national art, in fact. So looking forward to you hearing it. Why folk metal? Why not? I mean, there's a lot of metal genres and trends that kind of go in and out, but when I think of folk, I don't just hear goofy accordions and tin whistles all the time. Folk means like the music and part of the culture. So whenever I first discovered bands like Arcona, Skyforge, or Skyclad, these bands were doing something different because they bring a piece of themselves and culture to the music. And I've always respected that, and we try to do that as well. So not necessarily, like I said, instruments, it's more about the thematics and, bringing a part of your culture in.
We did try in the early stages to experiment with some sounds. I mean, a lot of the fans of Ancestral will notice a lot of, the death metal industrial influences. So even that kind of genre we started experimenting with, but folk metal was one that just stuck, and the songwriting most naturally came from that genre.
Yeah, it's pretty versatile. So we don't do folk metal exclusively, but it's certainly part of us and what we're known for.
No.
Yeah, these days, no. I mean, we've been doing it independently for, almost over 15 years. So if you're an established band, label. I mean, either way, I don't think it's necessary because you have the internet, a lot of do-it-yourself bands, word of mouth. It's, I guess, for like things like distro or merch or touring expenses, every label is like so broke and selective. So it's not what it used to be, and I'm guessing that's a good thing.
And keep in mind, when you look at the future, it's only going to be more and more that the internet is where a lot of artists are going to flourish and develop, and labels are going to keep dying slower and slower deaths.
We don't care. If you like it, check it out. It's been a rough year for live gigs for sure. We had this epic St. Patrick's gig in March that got postponed right when this Corona shit started. So it's unfortunate. It was going to be a nice paycheck, and it was going to be an epic set, like traditional acoustic set. Normally we don't do that often, so that got cancelled, and any kind of summer gigs, I guess, are out the window. So maybe a private show here and there for friends, but we gotta deal with what we got.
Yeah, this has been a year probably for all artists that's been difficult. Live shows is the bread and butter for an artist, and to not be able to do that, it's been noticeable this year.
I guess, some of the bigger shows like Pagan Fest or playing with Ailstorm or Kona each time, those are fun, especially if the sound and gear are operating properly and crowds into it. Sometimes you hear, people making out in the crowd or dancing or giving us beer, like the instruction of get me a beer. That's, some people pick up on it, which is nice. So those are the most epic gigs, as I don't know anything else.
Well, fail, I would say, was that battle of the bands where a band before us went over their time limit. They took forever to get off, and it was short time limits, I think 20, 30 minutes.
30 minute sets maybe.
So by the time we got on, by the end of the first song, they were already trying to get us off, and you were like, we came to play, our time. We're not getting off. You're going to have to pull us off the stage. So, that was...
Especially when you have a drummer, I'm not going to list any names, who takes an hour to set up and takes a sweet-ass time.
So that was a fail.
Another fail moment, I think we were filming Krampus Ball at a pretty well-known venue in Toronto, and it was like 1,000 people or whatever, and they said suddenly, well, you're not allowed to film, or you need some kind of bullshit license that costs like thousands of dollars. So we kind of got screwed out of that.
The new Alcest was pretty good.
Oh, Alcest, yeah, they've been around though. And New Paradise Lost, of course, Bluetooth North. Legend is a band we're both fond of out of Iceland. They're more on the electro-industrial side. But yeah, as far as like new bands, I really don't keep up. I mean, Luster made a good record. I'm more of the ambient, atmospheric black metal, and yeah, some of the classic bands are still around, which is good. Two Mold from Toronto. Yeah, anything else?
The new Tool album.
Oh, brother. God!
COVID created an environment where bands can't play live shows. They're trying to do what they can, but it's never the same as having a live gig in front of a live audience. And, this has been financially difficult for artists, morally difficult for artists. And I think even the worst is just the uncertainty. It's like, are we going to be back next month, in a year, performing gigs? I know there's artists that are already booking festivals for 2021. I hope they can play them, right? So it's that uncertainty of the unknown that I think is even worse than what's already happened. But
as if it wasn't bad enough, like more venues closing down, more fucking BS condos and the Starbucks and the Shoppers Drug Marts are popping up. So it's very unfortunate, but some promoters have told me that maybe a good reset is in order, because people realize how much maybe they truly value live music, and once that's kind of gone, maybe something fresh will start. And it's unfortunate. We'll see what happens, but the people who need music, who need to listen, who want to keep creating, we're all still going to keep doing that. So just adapt and carry on. But I think we kind of benefited from COVID a bit, because our producer Darren McGill at Union Sound, he had all this time off, and we have the new record.
Yes.
So Corona maybe helped us just a bit.
In this case, yeah. When you're finalizing a record, you're not going anywhere. You got to get this record done. So that was big. And definitely a shout out to all the artists that they're adapting to this situation. Live streaming gigs, really trying to play shows through the internet and things like that. I admire that, the adaptability of artists to their situations and their environments. Sometimes you play a show and things change, and this is a major change. So
future plans, well, once the album's done, we'll see how the new normal looks like, how the live circuit resumes. So obviously dates, writing new music, collaborations maybe. We already started writing a couple of new songs, so maybe possibly a single or split in the future.
We also want to make sure to get more video content out to you guys. I know sort of earlier in our years it's taken several years between one music video released or a live performance. We want to get that out to you guys more frequently now, so that you don't have to tune in and check is it within 2-year gaps.
Home recording has come such a long way. We have a great team, somewhat of a camera crew. We have the tools of the trade, so look forward to more content. Cheers. Keep that thought, I gotta take a shit.